That's interesting way to throw me back in. Just immediate. Wow, that is quite the overload of noises out of the gate. I spawned in and everything. I mean, everything is broken and falling apart, so, you know, fair enough. But, man, just with no hesitation, already, everything is falling apart all around me. I hear the weight of the world crashing down inside my eardrums. Alright, where are we going? I'm gonna guess not that way. It's either gonna be down that way or straight ahead this way. Also, movement's down that way, so let's, interesting physics. That way's shut off. I did go the right way. Right? I mean, there's a save station here, so I assume so. Oh, wait, maybe... Nope, I gotta restore power to open that door. Is there something in here that I'm... Well, maybe this is one of those shutters that just opens for some reason when you approach it. It is not. Something at this door? Passcode required. Of course. Always a passcode required. Aha, here we go. Well, I knew one of these doors had to let me in somehow. And at least now we know what we're looking for. We're looking for a passcode. Or a passcode or a way to restore power. Either one of those would work. Let's see. I'm thinking passcode. This feels like a room with a terminal in it. Yep. There is indeed a room with a terminal in it. And as well some more resources. Ooh, what was that? That was more scrap. What can I craft? Oh, wait. And more things? Oh, don't turn that on. Last time we turned on one of those, we almost died. Actually, no, we did die. Can we craft more flares? No, we can't. We can only find flares. We can't craft them. We still have 3 of them, so it's not terrible. I guess we're stuck with what we got for now. Okay. Give me passcode. Or allow me to turn on the power. Let's... Oh, code for repair job. 1851. Good start.
This is Sinclair. You guys took too long down there. I had to power down this facility and take the last transit. We can't afford to keep the sanctuary wide open. All it'll take is one creature to get in, and all the supplies and weapons we've taken will come to jack shit.
I am so sick of these stupid fucking sticks.
We're gonna sit this out till the rescue comes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but when you started chasing after a ship that'll never come, you broke with the plan. Sinclair out.
Oh, reboot power systems. So the answer was both. The answer was both. We need the passcode and we need the power back on. Nice. Oh, and another save station right here. They are. I mean, I guess we know why they give you so many save stations in the second half, because they just throw the kitchen sink at you in the second half. That better not have been the sound of it jumping out of the vents. I don't think it was. No, we're good. Nothing on the motion tracker. I'm still crouching, though. Always better safe than sorry. Always, always, always better safe than sorry. So does that mean we can get in here now? We're gonna save that save station for... in case we need it later. And that's also why we... Oh, fuck! Oh my Jesus Christ, apparently there was a... Okay. Apparently there was a facehugger right there. I didn't even... I was too busy trying to see where the alien was, because it may not have come out of the vents immediately, but it did come out eventually. Okay. This is gonna be a neat trick. I have to dispense of the facehugger, hopefully quick enough to where the alien, assuming it drops down again, because it's all random in this game, you never know. You can make no noise and it'll still be... I feel like there's a bit of artificiality. I mean, it's all artificial, right? It's artificial intelligence. But I feel like there's like an extra level of artificiality to it, to the point where it's... I feel like the game just will throw the alien at you if you haven't seen it in a while, which I'm fine with. I don't think that's wrong of the game to do. That's not correct. Ah, down there. That was red before, now it's green. I don't think it's wrong of the game to arbitrarily decide, hey, you haven't seen the alien in a while, it's time for you to see it again. Because, like, it'd be pretty boring if you just If it was truly random, it could be a little... One, it could be too unfair if the game randomly throws the alien at you too much, and two, on the other end of the spectrum, it could be too boring and easy if you just got really lucky and never saw the alien. So, I'm fine with the idea that there's a sense of, sort of a level to which you can go. There's a level of inactivity that will tick up, and then once it reaches a certain point, or a certain amount of time, then it'll be like, alright, time for some action again. I'm fine with that. To an extent. I mean, it is kind of cheap, because obviously you can play perfectly, and it'll still be like, you know, time for the alien to show up again. But I'm willing to make... There's other elements of this game that are very clearly artificial in its design that I'm not a fan of, but that specifically, I'm willing to lend to that concession. Except, actually, as I say that, I'm actually, maybe not so much, because in that section, like, I was in that... What? Whoa, oh, it's me. I got scared by my own arm swinging wildly. In that section, on one run, the aliens showed up, presumably because I hadn't seen it in a while. Even though it's not even true, because I literally just saw the alien, but whatever. And then the next run, I didn't see the alien. Even though, if we believe in the idea that it's running off a ticking timer that determines when the alien will or won't show up, the timer should be the same across multiple safe...
Ripley, we're about to move into position for the auto-umbilical dock sequence. We'll be dark on comms until we've matched the decaying orbit of the station and are in position. We're just waiting on you to extend the towing platform clamps. I don't know how you sweet-talked me into this.
Which, by the way, I got curious and I looked up between episodes if the... Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's just problem after problem with this game, isn't it? Constantly, there's some new obstacle thrown in your way that you gotta contend with. They just keep on adding more stuff for you. Every time you think the game's about to end, they immediately undercut it. It was cute the first time. It's getting annoying now. Oh, you... Speaking of annoying! Speaking of things that were... No, they weren't even cute the first time.
Why not ask me about Sevastopol's safety protocol?
Okay, so this is a bigger room. Let me get you into this room. It should be easier to loop around you. Run.
I'm going to catch you.
No, let's just walk. Let's not run. Running is too risky. I think we can outrun it if we just walk. I don't think it can outpace us at a normal walking speed, so we don't need to worry about. Oh, well, we need to worry about that. I am just going to hope against hope that the... Okay, I think it left me alone. Get the flamethrower out just in case. Oh, game. Hey, game. Hey, game. Can we not? Can we not? Can we not? This is really not the time for you to just... What the fuck? What the fuck? Game. If I die to this, I swear to fucking God. If I die because of your stupid frame rate bullshit, I'm going to be... The game is suffocating right now. We haven't had that problem in a long... That was, like, it was one of the first few episodes of the series that we had that kind of frame rate issue, and then never again since. Uh-oh. I think it went into the vents. Not entirely sure, but I think it went into the vents. But also, like, how did it not see me there? I don't understand how it didn't...
Evacuate station. This is not a drill.
What? This is not helpful. None of this is helpful at all. Okay. Where... I can't... Is there a way to control this? Oh. Is there... Because the cables are wired up to that forklift. So can I get over here and move those boxes out of the way? Oh, fucking course I need a key card. A fucking course I need a key card to... Well, there's nowhere else I can go, so it's gotta be in this room somewhere.
After evacuation, do not re-enter the station until advised to do so by the orbital emergency convener.
Check this one. Wait, what's... Do one of you have the key card? Or is it gonna be in a glass case somewhere? Check this one more time. Game, stop. Stop. Please stop. I can't. I cannot deal. Oh, there was a code. Okay, there's a code to something. How did I miss it the first time? But what's that for? That doesn't look... No, that's not a keypad for a thing. Let's hope the alien...
Please attend your assigned evacuation point and wait for your synthetic emergency warden.
Ooh, right here? Gotcha. Fortunately, 1984 is pretty easy to remember. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, at least that one was pretty straightforward. Arbitrary, but straightforward. Most of this game has just felt like busy work. If you actually stop and look at the mechanics of the plot in this game, it's been very, very mundane. That's making a lot of noise that I don't appreciate. So let's get the hell out of here.
Orbital stabilizer failure. Abandoned station. Abandoned station.
Yeah, we're... Nothing's ever easy, is it? Okay, please tell me I need to go right. Of course not. But was that just a forced, scripted scare sequence? What was... Oh, here. Because it seems like the alien just disappeared as soon as I saw it. And really, I want to keep reiterating that for... Oh, not one of these again. The one thing this game has never ever faltered on is its atmosphere. You feel so helpless and claustrophobic on this space station. It is... Oops, save station. It is legitimately phenomenal. Okay, door's locked. Follow the cables. Will I die if I step on that? That looks like I'm gonna get shocked to death. Is there another way to go? Nope. It's nice knowing ya. Nope, we're good. We good. We cool. Any one of these doors open? That's not... Well, it's open, but it's blocked.
After evacuation, do not re-enter the station until advised to do so by the orbital emergency convener.
Or we could just never re-enter the station. The biggest source of anxiety are when you have to go underneath those vents. But there's no, like, it's right in the middle of a narrow hallway, so there's no possible way to get around it. You're just forced to walk under it and hope for the best. It's okay, it's just a spark. Just a spark. Alright, is this the room at the safe station? It is. Cool. Whew. Every time I reach one of these, it feels so good. I mean, unless there's an alien right behind you, in which case it doesn't feel quite as good. More shotgun shells that don't seem to do much of anything anymore. Right. I guess let's go in the vent. Although, wouldn't this just take me back to where I was? Not sure. The game is stuttering a lot more today than it has in pretty much the whole series up until this point. Where is this gonna dump me? Ooh, this looks promising. This looks new. This looks new. I don't remember seeing an air hockey table before. This feels brand new. Is it brand new? Well, there's a marker now, so that's a good sign. Oh, generator. Generator typically leads to...
Orbital stabilizer failure. Abandoned station. Abandoned station.
Oh, the panic. The absolute... Oh, keycard.
If you're listening to this, and you're on the team, we've sealed the habitation sanctuary. There's one way in, one way out. I've still got raiding parties heading out to loot supplies and weapons, but it looks like we shut it off just in time. The Sikhs and synthetics have started moving away from their stations. I've seen a trail of strangled bodies in public areas. So, be aware. Oh, and if you're listening and you're not on the team, don't come find us.
Uh-oh. That's not good. It doesn't know the vents that well, right? Surely it can't. Nope, it knows the vents that well. Alright, flamethrower at the ready. Flamethrower is at the ready. Unless this makes noise. It makes noise. It might hear that. I can't hear its footsteps. Is it even in the room? That's a yes. I mean, it's in the room, but is it actually moving? Or is it just standing there? Like a dick. Oh, it's moving, alright. I'm not... I'm just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait. There's no reason to get risky. And also no reason for the controller to move me in a direction I wasn't... Now I hear it.
Emergency. Please attend your assigned evacuation point and wait for synthetic emergency.
Oh, thank goodness. Wait, and what the what did the keycard act? Short-lived victory. The worst part is I think we need to get out of this room because there's nothing else in this room. And I think the only way out of here is through that door, which is where the alien is. Well, I guess I can take the vent too, but...
Orbital stabilizer failure. Abandoned station. Abandoned station.
I hear it. Oh shit, 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 shit. How does it keep not seeing me? Risking it for the biscuit. Risking it for the biscuit. We risked it. We're not gonna save though. Oh, I mean, you know what? Maybe we will actually. I like this thing is so inconsistent with whether or not it says that there's hostiles nearby. By the way. Speaking of things that are inconsistent, the flamethrower's effectiveness. Once again, that worked almost first try. Anyway, okay, I am supposed to be going back this way. Okay, so I was on the right track and I just... just stay the course. Stay the course. Oh my... Okay, I guess it was... I guess it was behind me. Is it I think it's gone. It's gone for now, anyway. Alright, this is a new room. This is new. New room. I believe this is a new room, which means it's time for a new save. where the alien is not as close as it used to be. I love how the alien can literally be right next to you and it'll be like, yeah, no, you're gonna save your game. No hostiles nearby. You're clear. What the? Alright. I guess that happened. It was, oh, another one of these. It just burst through the doors in front of me. Go. What? Oh, what do you... Do I have to go all the way... I have to go all the way back into that room I was just in to restart the generator. Are you kidding me? I am... This game is testing the limits of backtracking in video games. Like, you would think the flamethrower would become less effective, and that's what I thought was going on. But, like, it's not, because then that you can do that and still, I don't know. Sometimes you get lucky. I think it really is just, like, they roll a d20, and then depending on what roll you get, that determines how many times you have to blast it with the flamethrower before it actually runs away. Let's turn the flashlight on. I do appreciate at least that the game... Oh. Game seems like it heard... It did not just drop. Okay. Is it in here? No, it's behind me. So Jaime doesn't know exactly where I am yet. Yet being the operative word. But I do like that the game heard my cry that the flashlight didn't seem super necessary. Restart. Hope we're fast enough. Just hope we're fast enough. It's right behind me, isn't it?
After evacuation, do not re-enter the station until advised to exit by the
It sounds like it's right on top of me. Oh. See, like, that seemed like it didn't see me, but obviously it did. Can you tell the game's effect is wearing thin really quickly? I'm rapidly, I mean, I've already lost all emotional investment, because they've already... The main thing I was compelled by with this game was Ripley seeing her mother's, or listening to her mother's message that she recorded for her. That was what was pulling me through this game. And it seemed like it was a lost cause. Because, like, right at the beginning, they're like, oh, it's destroyed. Sucks to be you, nerd. But then it comes up again randomly at the very end of the game. Like, it's not, the mission of this game wasn't, you need to stay on the station, you need to find the flight recorder to get closure for what happened to your mother. That's not, for most of this game, that's not what the story is about. But then they pull it out again at the last second. But then when they did pull it out, it's like, oh, that's literally all I cared about, really. And now that thread's over. Now it's not a thing anymore. So, like, my emotional investment is gone. It really is just busy work now. Just go from A to B, do that, and because I'm not, like, my immersion and investment has been deteriorating slowly over the course of the last half of this game, but now I think I'm at a point where it's just entirely gone. I really thought, man, when they showed a whole army of them being just unleashed into the Sevastopol, I thought for sure that was going to change up the gameplay, that we were going to have to contend with more than one of them at once. But no, that wasn't it at all. Actually, it's still only ever just been the one. Let me at least, I know it says hostiles nearby, but that doesn't mean anything. Let me at least save here so I don't have to re-walk this distance again and again and again. It's just, I'm looking at it strictly as just an obstacle to overcome. I'm not looking at it as, oh god, this monster might kill me. It's just, it's strictly, pragmatically, this is a thing I need to accomplish. Let's get it over with. I am not moving a muscle. There's no possible way it could know I'm in here. This sounds like action music, not horror music. It's got, like, that's gotta just be a scripted thing it does. Where it's like, if the game knows you're in some kind of hiding space, the alien will walk by it to make you think it's gonna get you. Is it finally gone? Seems like maybe. Yep, okay, it's in the vent. This music needs to chill the hell out. It's way, way too overbearing. Tell me it did not just spawn into the very hallway I need to go. It did! Of course it did. Don't do it. Don't do it. Didn't do it. I heard it, I don't know where. I think it's in one of those rooms. Because I heard it to my right. Seriously, what is with this music? Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, that very obviously is not a case of the alien reacting to what you're doing. It's literally just, oh, the game knows you're going here, so let's drop the alien in front of you. That makes me less immersed. That makes the alien feel less alive. That makes me see the artifice of the game design more. God damn it, man. Can we just get out of this hellish fucking... You've gotta be fucking kidding me. Go the fuck away. Really? Oh! Well, now we're out of flamethrower ammo. You got some for me? Sure don't. The music still was unrelentingly aggressive. So we're going this way.
Sevastopol, this is Diane Verlaine of the Torrens. I am attempting to dock on the tow platform below your spaceflight terminal. We can take survivors.
Oh my god. That was like the embodiment of everything I hate about this game. The AI was at its worst. The level design, most of the levels in the first part of this game were open enough to where there were multiple ways you could go about doing it. They felt open enough to allow you multiple options of multiple ways to succeed, multiple places to go, multiple tools at your disposal. That was just mostly linear, narrow corridors. And a lot of backtracking for no reason. And now I'm completely out of my flamethrower ammo. Which... Okay, I thought I was gonna let me go that way for a second. It's gonna be fun. This is gonna be real fun. Let's at least hope I bought myself a little bit of... Oh, hey, I recognize this, I think. This is one of the first rooms we started in, right? Yeah, when the shutters closed. We originally had a nice big view of the skybox, but then all the shutters closed, I think. Yeah. I think that's where this is. And I should also say, because Resident Evil 7 also, at the end of that game, you go back to where the game started, which I'm fine with. I actually like when games come full circle and, like, it ends where it begins, that kind of thing. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So I'm fine with this, the idea of returning back to where you... Especially because, of course, the idea is you get on the station, now you have to get off the station, so the way through which you get on is similar to the way through which you get off. But for the rest of it, there has been so much unnecessary backtracking, and it's not like it's in service of telling some masterful story, because the story in this game has really not been that impressive. There hasn't really even been most of the story is told through the audio logs of a story that happened before we got here, and like, you can do that. In fact, I really like the audio logs. I like that they're fleshing out the world. They're making it, because what those can do is they can effectively strengthen your world building by painting a picture that's wider than the scope of what your protagonist is currently being exposed to. So I'm perfectly fine with that, and I advocate for that kind of stuff when it comes to fleshing out your world. But it shouldn't be all you have. Yeah, this is...
Verlaine, can you hear me? Are you close enough for radio contact? I'm here!
If that's a robot, I swear to fucking God, I will bash your brains in. Well, if the game will let me, because it keeps fucking stuttering. Okay. What the fuck is happening? What is happening? Oh, I guess I died? Okay. So, fun fact. I only know I died because I'm looking at my monitor. In the VR headset, I was still... While you guys were looking at the load your last save screen, I was still looking at the Android, like, bashing my... Oh my God, this is... Can we play the game? Can we go back to playing the game? Can I fucking move? Well, that's the thing. I am moving. On my monitor, I am moving. But in the headset, I'm having a seizure. Oh my God, are we back? Oh, we're back. We're so back. Okay, now we can play the game. You know what this section really needed? An annoying-ass android to fuck with you. Where even was it? I was over... How did it... I guess it must have just moved. It must move each time you load in, right? Because, like, obviously I wasn't over there when it grabbed me. It must have just moved. No. What do you fucking mean it's locked? Everything's always locked in this goddamn game. Let's at least hope we get a bit of a reprieve. And also, let's stare away from that stupid robot. Like, the music makes you think there's something that's hunting you down. But it doesn't seem like there is. Alright. Oh, wait, nope, something over this way. Oh, fuck you! It's so dumb. It's so stupid. It's such a stupid, cheap-ass trick that barely works the first time. And now it just doesn't, now it just pisses me off whenever you do this stupid bullshit. Now, where do you want me to go? By the way, I don't think I was anywhere near him for him to have been able to grab me. But fine. Whatever. Just in case the alien's nearby, I'm gonna remain crouched. I said remain crouched. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, I like this one. This one is good. I hear a bunch of machine-like noises, and you can never tell for sure whether it's the alien clambering around the vents or just the station, you know, blowing up all around you. Now it's gotta be back. Yeah, it's gotta be this. Okay. I guess follow the vent, maybe? Follow where the cables are going. Is this gonna take me to... Okay, let's we got more flamethrower fuel. That's good. Is it gonna take me to the other side of the place where I just was, or it's gonna take me down here? Aha! No. Reboot the system. Can we ever just, like, push a button? Is that ever an option? Alright, we got the other side, now let's take care of this side. Ah, shit, I missed. Alright, how about now? What could possibly go wrong now? I mean, the answer is the alien dropping it out of nowhere. Will that happen? 50-50. I give it a 50-50 shot. Extend the docking clamp. Let's go home. There.
Relay, the docking clamps are engaging.
Okay, now find the under control room.
Well, the doors, that door's open now, which I assume is where we have to go. Yeah, personnel and umbilical control. Upper. Never too late to start searching for things. Can we make another medkit? We sure can, and we are going to. In fact, I'll make 2 if the game will let me. It will not. One's better than none. One is better than none. Anything else? How about that? Was that enough to allow me to craft? It was not. What do I need? I'm missing injector. Okay, well, when we find an injector, that'll be our cue to craft more medikits. I don't like how that blipped for a second.
There is no personnel umbilical. It's long gone.
What?
Wait, I think I can use the maintenance rig instead. If I can find an EVA suit, I can still get to you.
Be careful, Ripley.
That's it.
I'm waiting for the moment. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. Oh, did I completely walk by this? I think I completely walked by this the first time. I didn't even see there was a save station here. But if there's a save station here, you know what that means. It means they're gonna drop the alien on you. Literally, I fucking told you! Did I not tell you? I feel like I told you. I told you. I fucking told you. Literally just dropped it right in front of me. At least it didn't instantly turn around. That's nice. Don't come back up the stairs. You got that? I'm gonna stay in here until I know what it's gonna do next. And downstairs just looks like a death trap. Downstairs looks like it's been set completely ablaze. I don't see it on the motion tracker anymore. Oh, there it is. Found it. It's still out there. Here's the unfortunate part. By now, everyone else is already dead. So, like, there's no possible way for me to use anyone else as a distraction. Oh my god. What the fuck? What? It was literally on top of the stairs. It would have had to run down the stairs. How did it... I was watching that door. I know it didn't leave the fucking staircase. I know it didn't leave the staircase. I would have seen it. Oh. Oh, that's how it got me. Okay, finally. We cracked the case as to how the alien got me. Because there's more than one alien. Okay. Credit where credit is due. They finally actually made use of the fact that there's more than one alien on the station at any given time. Credit where credit is due. They finally remembered that they unleashed an army of them. That's something that I said I wanted them to do, and I'm happy they finally did it. But also, see, like right there, if the alien had any actual sense of peripheral vision, if there were any actual cones it was using to determine, like, as a means of simulating an entity's vision, then it would have seen me. And it would have continued to figure out where I was and chase me up the stairs. But clearly it doesn't have any actual peripheral vision, because it's so inconsistent with when it does or doesn't spot you. Well, I think it might be over. Might be game over for us. Unless it's not gonna keep going up the stairs for some reason. Okay, I got a chance. This is my chance. I gotta take it. This is my big break. Alright, let's try Ye Olde Reliable. Let's try to toss a flare. That's one of them gone. Now the question is, are there only two? Or are there more than two? Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. That's one gone. But there's still one here. Back, 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 back. Is it turning? It's turning. It's turning. It's fucking turning. Holy shit, that's so lucky. But again, like, I didn't win because I did anything special or clever. I won because I just got lucky. And on this run, for some reason, they both decided to just leave. Okay, well, don't let you get toast in the mouth. Just go. Don't even dare stand up. Just remain crouched. Save. Risk the save. It's worth the risk. It's worth the risk. Come on, risk the save. Yes, 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 yes. Risk the save. Get in the airlock. Flamethrower at the ready just in case. Which thing do I need to this? Oh, and now the music stops for some reason. I'm desynced with Ripley's body again. Holy shit! Okay, genuinely, that was actually a really cool moment. That was actually, that's the first time I've been genuinely scared in a long time. But also, wait. Was that scripted? Was that supposed to happen? Why? I can't see. Oh, yeah, that was script. What the hell? Okay, now I'm just confused. Why?
Fuck.
Why in every other time throughout the game did the alien want to just kill me immediately? But this time, this specific time, it just decided to string me up. Oh my god. Like Will from Stranger Things Season 1. Bit weird. But at this point, I don't even. Again, this one I'm not as confident about as a definitive criticism, because I'm not, again, as I keep saying, I am not an alien lore aficionado. They may be a hive mind, or there may be another lore explanation for why that happens. Fuck! I heard the noise, but I had no idea where it was coming from. It just sounded like it was coming from everywhere all around me. Let's keep our flashlight on at all times, so I can watch these spawn points. So that sounded like it was coming more so from to my left than it was coming directly in front of me, but apparently it was coming directly in front of me. Yeah, so there may be a lore explanation for why, because like it's kind of like what happens with the Flood in Halo, where the Flood collect bodies that they then can form into a bigger... Oh, what the fuck? This sound... That sounded like it was coming from in front of me. It just straight up sounded like it was coming from in front of me, but apparently it was coming from behind me. That's great. That is so... So this is going to be a thing where you just have to memorize the spawns. You just have to memorize the spawns, and then you have to... That's my favorite kind of. Yep, that's great. Grab these, turn around. That wasn't what I wanted to... I love it when you don't have... I love it when it just changes what you have out. Just for no reason. And not for no... I keep saying for no reason. I know why it happens, but, like, the controls of this are not great. So it feels like it happens for no reason because I'm not consciously doing it. Well, this place has gone to shit. I don't like how many flares they're giving me. Like I said in a previous episode, never trust the sudden ammo drop. Oh, now what? Where? I don't see it. Okay. Great, we're out of flamethrower ammo now. That's amazing. I guess we'll go with the shotgun. Shotgun at least seemed to kill it in one, well, shot, so. Might make a lot of noise, but we're gonna make a lot of noise no matter what we do. Also, they're giving me more shotgun. Why wouldn't it kill me? Why didn't it kill me? I mean, again, as I say every time, I'm glad it didn't, but like, actually, why wouldn't it though? It was staring right at me. At first I thought it was like, maybe there was a glass wall there I just couldn't see. But no. It just decided it didn't want to kill me. Alright. Ah! Guess that's an elevator. Alright. Apparently I stepped into an elevator without realizing it. Well, at least I think I can say pretty confidently that this is going to be the final episode, which of course you will know from watching because it'll say it in the title and the thumbnail, but I had no idea before I sat down and started recording. But I think that this definitely feels like final escape sequence type thing. So I'm gearing up for a grand finale of sorts. This is, again, seems like the game is also gearing up for a grand finale with how many resources they're providing me.
Jesus! we make it through here.
Alright, I guess now there's trains that we have to deal with. Can't go that way, that's the way, that way's a no-no. How about this way? We like this way? Another train? Let me guess, another train? I hear it. No? No train? No train. No, there's a... fucking course. Where is this gonna put me? Wait a minute, where is this gonna put me? Don't put me back at the... Okay, good. I thought it was gonna put me back at the beginning of this section. I would have been so mad. What? Okay. I guess 1 pixel of my character model was... Sure. I'm just gonna run. I'm so fucking done with this. I'm just gonna run. I don't care. I'm just gonna run. Wait for the train. It takes forever. Takes forever to spawn. Unless maybe it only spawns when you enter. Okay. That's so fucking cheap. It only spawns when you enter the... Whatever. Whatever, man. Only spawns when you enter. Another train, let me guess. Another train coming in overhead. Maybe it only spawn in when I reach the top of the... Yep, why, It's so obvious. It's so... Of course, I'm just sitting all the way back in my chair. I'm just relaxing. I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling. Revolver ammo. Giving me lots and lots of ammo. This thing's just totally on the fritz. This thing is totally on the fritz. We're just gonna have to go with the flow on this one. Just go wherever. Where? Where was that? I heard it, but I don't... Okay, charge the flashlight, please. Thanks. I heard it, but I don't see it. This isn't even remotely aligned. Get there. That wasn't even close to being aligned with where I was. The little pitter-patter sound effects are great. I hate that the creepy crawly feeling you get just hearing the little... It's probably just someone thumping on a can of peas or something. Game, I can't fucking see. We're doing this again, really. We're doing this again. I just can't. Invisible wall. I just get stuck inside an invisible wall for no reason. Oh, that's a lot of dead down there. That's a whole lot of dead. And we are dropping right into. Let's also save the flashlight. We don't need the flashlight. Oh, I didn't mean literally drop. Alright. Keep going.
Ripley, are you there? Please tell me.
Ripley, I thought I lost you. We're being dragged down to Sevastopol. The gravitational pull has twisted the ring and we can't get free from the station.
What do you need me to do?
Get out the airlock and EVA over to the maintenance platform. There are explosive bolts on the emergency release. Hurry! Sevastopol is going fast.
Won't let you down.
Okay, this is actually nauseating. This is probably VR, but like the fact that the world is constantly shifting around me, I am getting legitimately motion sick from this. This is, oh my, okay. The world can stop anytime it wants. Save again. I'm sure there's gonna be some. Oh my god. I can't. I actually can't. Look, I am so. Oh my god. That is so nauseating in VR. It might be nauseating not in VR as well. I don't know, but in VR at least it is unbearable. How much the world keeps. Oh my. Jesus Christ. What do we? I'm here. I'm at the. Sure. The last vent was a trap, so surely. Oh my god. I'm like seconds away from just taking the headset off. because of how sick I feel in my stomach. Oh my Jesus. Okay. Surely a narrower field of view will help. Oh, we out in space again. We out in space again. Shit really hit the fan, didn't it? Always the plus side of being out in space. No weapons, no combat, no facehuggers, and probably no aliens as well. Or no xenomorphs, I mean. Unfortunately, it didn't fix the constant space quake. I thought it was bad earlier when we first kicked the alien off the space station. And the station was well, stationary, but the world was spinning. Whereas, oh my god, my headset just fell. My headphones, rather, that I use for my PC, just fell off my desk. As if to add insult to injury, let's put her on a moving... At least we're getting more frequent autosaves. At least for sequences like this, the game recognizes it would be dramatically unfun to be forced back to your save stations every single time something happened. What are we even doing? Again, I've no idea what specific MacGuffin thing we're...
There should be 2 priming mechanisms to unlock the manual release. I see them.
Do you? Do you, though? Are they down? They're over here, down here. Pull. Hand gonna keep clipping inside. So, like, you can defend a lot of these quick time event kind of things by saying, like, well, you know, you have to do them, you have to make them super long so that there's more stress, there's more tension when the alien's nearby, so, you know, you're forced to look away, you're forced to engage in a long task before it's not as easy as pushing a button and running away. But, like, there's no alien here. This is all just scripted animation stuff.
Ripley, are you still there?
Again, though, I know it can't actually get me because I have nothing to defend myself with. It's just there to scare you. It's not gonna work. They're really trying, though. They're trying their best to freak the fuck out of you. And I guess maybe they'll kill you if you take too long or something. But I'm not... I can't even see what Ripley's doing. Because the helmet is so obstructive. One more. One more. Is that it? Yeah, I mean, you can't get me. You literally just can't get me. That's gotta be the end, right? That's gotta be it. Oh.
Verlaine, I'm on my way up to the bridge.
Oh, this is cool. Like I said, I like it when games come full circle, and this is it. This is where we met Samuels. This is how the game should end. I'm happy with this as the ending sequence. Nice. What'd be really cool is if there was an alien on here somehow. Like we open the door to meet Verlaine, and it's just an alien there instead. That'd be pretty. I feel like that. You know, that's probably what's gonna be what's gonna happen, right?
Verlaine?
I guarantee you, we open the door. Yep, I called it. Oh, are we really quick time eventing the end of this game? Oh wow, we really are, aren't we? We are actually quick time eventing the end of this game. We're going full Halo 4 style. It's literally the end of Halo 4 where the hero ends up stranded in outer space. Really? That... Wow. That is a woefully anticlimactic note to end the game on. That is tremendously disappointing, actually. They literally... So the whole... Both ending sequences of that game were QuickTime events. It's you walk up to the thing and then you push all the buttons and you put all the key cards in the right slots. And then the aliens surround you and it's a moment of tension like, oh my god, they're gonna get you. But like they obviously can't because you can't defend yourself. There's nothing you can do. And you get launched out to go to the Torrens. And it's a nice brief moment of full circle in this, but then turns out, oh, they got on the Torrens too. Verlaine's gone, which I mean, you know, kind of saw that coming in my mouth. Why it's not exactly a particularly big surprise. But then it's like literally just the end of Halo 4, where the big final battle against the alien, whatever you make the alien in both games, is literally just QuickTime events. Just pushing on the stick and then pushing buttons to do things. And then it just cuts, because at least Halo 4 has an emotional finale. This just cut to her drifting in space, and then it's implied she gets picked up by someone, so we'll see her again in the sequel. Wow, what a... I am very, very mixed on that. I'm very, very mixed on that game. So, like, the atmosphere, I guess I should say up front that I don't hate this game, because I've let my frustration show in with no concerns of filtering anything. This game frustrated me tremendously in the second half, particularly the closer to the end we got. But I definitely don't hate it. I mean, I love the first half of this game was outstanding. The atmosphere throughout the whole game, really. Even the bad parts was fantastic. It's stylistically, it is spot on accurate to the first. And I've only seen the first movie, so I can't attest to any of the other ones. But it seems like they're definitely trying to emulate the style of the original Alien. And I know I haven't seen it in a while, but from what I remember, they hit the nail on the head. All the tools you use, all the set pieces, every piece of the environment looks and feels like it was just ripped right out of the original movie, right out of that time period.
This is Ripley.
The sound design, I believe this game won a ton of awards for its sound design, every one of which is 100% deserved. Sound design in this game is ungodly. Level design, solid level design. I was a big fan for mainly in the first half of the game. I mentioned earlier how it felt open enough to where it allowed you to choose. It felt open enough to where you had choices for where you would go, what you would do, how you would escape the alien. But it also didn't feel so open that it felt like a freebie. Like there was always a sense of you always felt trapped and claustrophobic, while also never feeling limited in what you could do as a player to escape the alien, which is a pretty delicate balance to strike, and I think they hit it pretty well. It would also, I feel like if I play this game again, which I will, like I mentioned, I'm definitely gonna play this game again in flat screen mode to assess it properly, because I don't think a lot of, or some of the problems I have with this would definitely be alleviated if I just don't play it in VR. Like for instance, the fact I had to uninstall and reinstall this game twice throughout this LP because it just broke. Like first I got soft locked when we first met the alien with the maintenance jack. Then the second time my controls were just busted, and I still don't think they were fully fixed. And again, it's definitely not the controllers. It's 100% not the controllers. It's just the game being busted with this mod. And the second time, I don't even think it fully got fixed. And there was also the problem of it like taking forever to load in that one specific. I thought that might have just been a glitch that would be fixed with an uninstall and reinstall. It was not. I guess it must have just been that one specific part of the game that it just took an ungodly amount of time to load for some reason. But that's all. Putting that to one side, the stun baton I'm confident would be 100% fixed. I've seen footage of this game in non-VR mode, and I know for a fact that the thing where you aim at a target and then it just pulls your aim off target for no reason, like that is patently unfair. I'm looking in a direction, it would hit the target if it actually went where I was looking, but then it doesn't go that way, and it just pulls my aim in a completely different direction arbitrarily. Same thing with headshots not registering. There were a lot of times where, like, my reticle was, at least inside the headset, the reticle was absolutely on target, but then it just didn't hit the head. Those things, oh, and of course, hiding is just straight up broken. It actually is broken. Like, it says hold A to hide, and if you hold A to hide, it immediately kicks you out. And then the whole leaning back mechanic didn't work either in VR. Clearly a lot of this would be fixed in non-VR mode. And again, I'm not holding any of this against the game, because it is not it's an unofficial mod. It is a very... I still would say it's a very good official mod, because it is a gargantuan task to take a game like this that wasn't built for VR, although maybe it should have been built for VR, that wasn't built for VR, and then turning it into VR. That's a gargantuan task, and I have a mad respect for them for managing to pull it off in a playable state. Like, there were some times where, anytime I had to do the hold down LT and RT and pull down on the lever or whatever, that was broken with the Oculus controllers. I had to use mouse and keyboard and to do that. So, you know, it wasn't a flawless experience, but it was still mostly playable, and for an unofficial mod to accomplish something that is this monumental in terms of engineering, it's not half bad. It was a pretty overall solid experience from that perspective. Although I do think it's probably more, the VR mode for this would probably appeal more to people who have already beaten the game once and just want to experience it again in a more immersive way, because then you're more familiar with the controls, you're more familiar with the mechanics, so it might be less of a hurdle to overcome. Because when you play the game in flat screen mode, you have to just learn the mechanics, and that's it. But then in VR mode, you have to learn the mechanics, and also you have to learn how to use the mechanics with a set of controls they weren't designed to be used with. So that would probably be much better. And if your first time playing this game, because I would still recommend you play this in VR, just not your first time. Like, I just for the experience of, because again, like the beginning part of this game, with when the Xenomorph was the primary threat you were going up against, was phenomenal. Top tier survival horror stuff. Absolutely 10 out of 10 masterpiece, game of the year every year type of stuff. Legitimately. Like, that sounds like her hyperbole, but it's not. So to experience that, to see the Xenomorph, like, life-scale model right up in front of your face, its breath, like, its spit dripping down on top of you, and its teeth just right in front of your eyes, and hearing its breath, it is it is exceptional. Genuinely worth the price of admission. Just for any one of the encounters in the beginning half of this game, just to put if you're a massive Alien fan, just to put them in that encounter, just one single encounter with the alien, it's worth it. It's completely worth it, honestly. But yeah, where I was going with all that is when I replay this game again on my second playthrough, I think it's probably going to be a different experience completely because of how the levels are laid out. I'm guessing that no two playthroughs of this game will be the same, especially when compounded with the enemy AI, which is extremely intelligent. I mean, I will say, when I say beginning half, I don't mean, it was kind of slow in the beginning when it was just humans and androids. It took a while for it to, really get going. But, I'm fine with that, because I figured it's just, it's getting you used to the stealth mechanics in a less punishing environment. And it worked. It worked to communicate the game's mechanics in with enemies that are less hostile, less punishing, before the alien itself showed up. And once it showed up, we rocketed to new heights. While the alien was there, it was phenomenal. And again, I am a huge advocate for actually smart AI in video games, and not AI that just sits there dumb as a post bullet sponges. And what's really annoying is that the humans kind of were. The humans really felt like they were just dumb as a post Call of Duty bullet sponges that just stood there and waited for you to shoot them. Or would just be roaming on predetermined looping path movements. Humans and androids kind of did that, which is annoying. But it works in this specific instance, in this specific game, it works because it is such a harsh dichotomy, again, or contrast with the alien's AI. So it works really well, specifically in this game, because you have the alien there to contrast the otherwise not particularly interesting human and android AI. And is that it? Is there anything after the credits? Nope, that's the game. Okay. So in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit out real quick. I'm going to relaunch the game not in VR mode, because I don't really want to have to deliver my outro with this headset strapped to my face the whole time. So, yeah. See you in a second. I really do love this main menu. It's such... when you're on... right at the end there, you really get a good sense of how enormous... because the Sevastopol is an enormous space station, and you feel that scale when you're on board. Let me turn the volume down so I don't blow out my own ears while I'm talking. You feel that scale when you're on board, but in reality, you're such a small blip in the universe. I love this main menu. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I also love the first half of this game. To talk about what I was talking about. In this specific game, I'm fine with the fact that the humans and androids AI isn't all that sophisticated. Because it's kind of like in Halo 4, where you have the Covenant is given a very severe downgrade in the intelligence of their AI, and they do that because they're trying to hype up how smart the new Knights are and the Prometheans. The difference there is that they've actively chosen to make an enemy faction that used to be really intelligent dumber, just to make your new thing look better. Whereas here, it's all new stuff, so I'm more accepting of that here than in a game like Halo 4, where it's continuing something else, continuing an IP. And there are definitely times where it feels like the AI is unfair, just because it's so much more aggressive and unpredictable than any other enemy AI I've ever seen. But most of the time, at least in the first half of this game, I'd say 100% of the time, or at least 99% of the time, I would not call the AI unfair to any degree. It's this really delicate balancing act. They walk a very thin line between being unpredictable and aggressive to make it feel like a more alive, like a living creature, more so than a computer program, but also being predictable enough to where a player can actually realistically overcome the... Because if it was actually just running around rampantly, doing whatever it wanted with no rhyme or reason, and there was no predictability to it whatsoever, then it'd be impossible. There'd be no way to actually beat the game. Although, that goes two ways. It could be that it becomes impossible, or it becomes less interesting, because, I mean, obviously there are times in this game where the alien can and cannot appear according to the script. We learned that in this episode, where it's very clearly there are instances where the alien is always going to appear no matter what you do, and times where the alien is not always going to appear. So, if it was truly random the whole time and there was no predictability to it, then it would also make a less interesting game overall. I don't know. It's interesting to think about that. But yeah, but so on the subject of predictability, there's sound cues. That's the key. It's a very sound-driven game. Listening for the alien's footsteps, learning which way it's going, learning what it's doing, learning the sound cues when it enters the event versus when it exits event, that kind of thing. So I always felt like I had enough tools at my disposal to be able to outwit the alien and get through the game in one piece. That said, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Because the aliens' behaviors are so wildly unpredictable, there were many, many instances where I triumphed over an encounter, not because I did anything skillful, like at the very end right here where the two aliens were roaming around the airlock area. I didn't get out of that because I outwitted them with a really clever flare placement or a noisemaker or something like that. I just got lucky. I literally just lucked out with them both deciding to go up into the vents within seconds of each other, and that happened a lot. Maybe not that exact situation, but times where an alien would drop down on you and kill the humans for you, and just kill two birds with one, and then after that it would leave right away, and you would have nothing to fear. And it just feels like that's not satisfying. Like, yeah, you won, but you didn't win. The game won for you, essentially. It decided to drop the human killing machine on you and let you through in one piece. Or, like in the last episode really was getting under my skin. With, like, sometimes the alien was on the stairs, sometimes it was behind me in the hallway, sometimes when I went down the stairs, there would be an army of humans there trying to kill me, sometimes there wouldn't. And it was, like, so maddening. There was nothing to learn. Every time you went, it was like, what's gonna happen this time? What other bullshit am I gonna get lucky? Am I gonna get a free win? Or am I gonna have to deal with you? And it wasn't even one, it was a whole squad of them that just instantly domed me. Sometimes the alien would be in the middle of killing someone else. So which I think, okay, that gives me a couple seconds. That gives me time while it's busy killing another human. I'm like, alright, now I can go somewhere else while it's distracted. But then, like, the instant it's done killing the other human, suddenly it's somehow just right on top of me, out of nowhere. Which, you know, that might be fine, right? Because the idea is that the alien is supposed to be this paragon it's supposed to be the ultimate creature, right? This perfect hunter, I think. That's the lore, right? That's the lore of the alien, is that it's a perfect hunting creature thing. So if that's the justification you want to go with, and, like, that's why it's so hyper-aware, that it is just absolute peak performing creature that always knows where you are, that's fine. If you want to create an enemy that's that difficult and that unstoppable. But, like, that's clearly not the case, because there were also frequent instances where I would be right next to the alien, or right in front of the alien, and I think the clearest instance of that was right at the end of the game on that staircase, where if the alien had any actual peripheral vision, I would have been dead. So many times. It should have seen me, it should have tracked me, it should have killed me. But it didn't. Like, it's either it's an AI that behaves like standard enemy AI, where it goes in circles and it loops around path movements and it just goes up and down the stairs, and it doesn't, like, actually see you unless you're right on top of it, even if you're within its field of view and it clearly should be seeing you right now. But then also sometimes it's like, oh my god, you turned your head, which made an almost inaudible distinction in the sound waves around you. Well, I know exactly where you are now. Time to die, bitch. Like, it would somehow spot me from the other side of the damn room sometimes. And then you turn around 5 seconds later, and you're right in front of it, and it doesn't do anything. It's really, really weird and inconsistent. And I'm sure some people like that. I'm sure for some people it's like, oh, but that's what makes it so cool, though. You never know what's gonna happen. It keeps you on your toes the whole time. Yeah, it keeps me on my. It definitely doesn't just break my immersion immediately. Because, like, that's the longer this game went on, and the more accustomed I became to the AI, and the more I started to understand how it works, the less scared I got, and the more I just became annoyed. Because it wasn't a case of, like, if it sees you once you're dead. It was a case of sometimes it sees you, sometimes it doesn't. And there's no rhyme or reason whatsoever to whether it does or it doesn't. And that's not fun or engaging or satisfying. That's just annoying. And sometimes it would just spawn out of nowhere. Out of absolutely nowhere, it would just drop right on top of you. And if you're in a bad spot, you're just screwed. nothing you can do. Sometimes it would drop on you in the middle of a hallway with no hiding places anywhere around that you can possibly run to. The linear, any time in this game where you had to contend with the alien in a linear corridor was shit. Because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to flank. You're just done. Unless you have the flamethrower, but even that isn't really that consistent, because sometimes it would knock the alien back in 1 or 2 bursts, and sometimes it would take 4 bursts, or 5, or 6, and sometimes even that wouldn't be enough. And that's not satisfying. Especially when you, like, imagine, okay, because this game has a thing where the alien learns from you, so if you constantly hide in lockers, it's gonna start to learn to check for lockers. Or if you hide under desks, it'll start to learn to check for desks, and that will gradually become a less and less effective option to you. And I decided to look it up out of curiosity, because I mentioned in the last episode, like, does it stack across multiple... I made a joke. No, I didn't really actually... Like, I was just kind of doing a bit of banter. I didn't actually think that the alien would retain what it learns across different saves. Like, if you play the same encounter 5 times in a row, and if you always hide in a locker, and you die, then it will remember, even though these are now different realities, essentially, it will still remember, like, hey, you hid in a locker the last 5 times you tried this. I remember that. I'm like Sans from... I was literally just making an Undertale joke, like, oh, he's like Sans. It remembers what you did in a different save. No, that's literally what it is. It literally remembers what you do in different save files. That's like genuine bullshit. That even if I play perfectly, but because I've used a certain hiding spot before in a different save state, suddenly that just, okay. I do like the idea of the alien adapting and forcing you to make use of all the tools at your disposal. Because that's why it's in the game, right? The reason why, aside of just being a really cool behavior for the AI that it learns from how you play, the reason why it does that is because it's trying to force you to use all the tools. It's trying to condition you to not become over-reliant on one particular type of cover spot or one particular tool. Like, if you use flares again and again and again, eventually the alien's gonna be like, wait a minute, the last 4 times I went to this flare, it was absolutely nothing. Let me instead try to look at where the flare might have come from and see if there's someone waiting for me there. And then when that becomes less effective, it forces you to use other tools, like the noisemaker or the flashbang and things like that. That didn't happen to me, but that's the idea behind it, essentially. And I like the idea, but I'm at odds with myself. Because on paper, it's a cool concept, but in execution, it just has massive ramifications for the rest of the game's design that I'm not a fan of at all. But, even with all that said, I would still the vast majority of the first half of this game was absolutely phenomenal. Loved it. It was genuinely terrifying. And I would recommend, if this game was just its first half, it would be an easy 10. Easy 10. Even with the things I meant, okay, maybe a 9. Maybe 9 or around that range. It would be a very, very high score if it was just the first half of the game. But it's not just the first half of this game, because after you cross the halfway point, the alien leaves. And as soon as the alien leaves, this game just turns into an absolute slog. In the early game, there was a persistent aura of uncertainty that permeated everything you did, because the xenomorph was a wild card, and that's the plus of the xenomorph being so unpredictable. Because it's a wild card, it could literally attack you anytime, anywhere. I wouldn't, again, like I said, most of the time it was never unfair in when or where it chose to attack you, but you never felt safe when there was nowhere. Unlike in Resident Evil 7 or Village, there are no places you can go to be safe. Well, I mean, there are. You just don't know. Like, cutscene areas, things like that. There are sections where you are technically safe, but the game doesn't label them as being safe rooms. Like, places you can go to where nothing can get you. Like, I probably didn't need to crouch everywhere I went in the first half of this game, but I did it anyway because I legitimately never felt safe. Like in Resident Evil 7, I was afraid to walk anywhere because just of the sheer atmosphere of the Baker house was so overbearing that I felt like around any corner something could have jumped out at me and killed me. Whereas this, it was a case of I need to stealth walk everywhere because the alien, specifically that monster, I hear it in the, you hear it, you always hear it in the vents. Even if it never drops on you, you always hear it climbing around in the vents. So you never know whether it's just dicking around or whether it's getting ready to strike you. But that uncertainty, that feeling that is the driving for the beating heart of the first half of this game is gone. It disappeared. As soon as the alien is gone, so is that feeling. And then it's replaced by a feeling of pain because you have to deal with the stupid androids. Now, I didn't even know that the working Joes were in this game because nobody ever talks about it. Whenever anybody praises this game as like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece of horror, nobody ever mentions the androids. I've never seen anyone ever. It's always, the conversation is always focused around the aliens, as it should be, because it is undoubtedly the highlight of this game. The reason why you play it, the reason, the core thing that they were trying to sell you on was the Xenomorphs AI. But no one ever mentions the androids, even though they occupy a significant portion of this game. No one ever mentions them. Probably because they know they suck. Again, this one might be alleviated by playing not in VR, but it was so inconsistent with how many shots it took to kill the androids. Sometimes it took like a couple revolver shots, sometimes it took like 9, sometimes it took 2 shots from the shotgun, sometimes it took 1, sometimes it took 4. There was no consistency. And again, maybe they were all different ranks, but it didn't. If they were different ranks, there was no way for me to clearly tell because they all look exactly the same, except for the hazmat suits who just are immune to fucking everything. As soon as the alien is gone, this game starts falling apart at the seams. And I did have that feeling. I had a feeling in my gut that when the alien left that we were on a downward spiral. But I didn't expect it to get that painful. I didn't realize they were just going to throw an army. And whenever there was that one section when it was the one room with just the one android, and we had to go around flipping a bunch of switches and turning on a bunch of generators, and then we escaped down the hole in the middle when I had like 0.5 hit points left. That was a really satisfying encounter, because I didn't have to fight the android. It was just a pure stealth-based encounter. And that's cool. But the problem is that a lot of the times you can't just stealth your way through these sections, because there's too many of them. And also, like, they literally give you weapons that you're supposed to use to fight these guys. Like, I don't know that it's possible to get through that central reactor section without the bolt gun. I really don't know if that's even legit. I would be stunned. At least not on the difficulty that I played it. And as a reminder, the game does tell you that hard mode is the recommended way to experience the game. And I would say, I don't know that this would have been as terrifying an experience if I played it on medium or anything lower than that. Like, would they have made the androids less of a problem? Absolutely. But I also think it would have severely trivialized a lot of the alien encounters. And like, if this is the way the devs want you to experience the game, if this is like, if they say hard mode is the way to do it, this is the way we want you to play, this is our vision, then I feel like that should be the main thing that you focus on in like this when testing the game's design. And I would still recommend this for the aliens, but like, man, it made those androids a giant pain in the ass. And at least we did get a brief reprieve. I don't even want to know what Nightmare is like, by the way. I'm never trying that. Nope, not happening. We got a brief I thought I might have accidentally backed out of the game there. We got a brief reprieve in the nest, which is cool, and it felt good to have the aliens back and to see the facehuggers. I'm so glad the facehuggers were in this game. But there really weren't that many of them. They just popped. Usually they only threw one of them at you at once, and then that was it. Like, it was just one little guy who was crawling around in the boxes, and then that was it, which is strange. I thought there'd have been more. I really would have expected there to be more facehuggers because of how iconic they are. In at least the first Alien movie. Again, haven't seen any of the other ones. And I thought the game was finally going somewhere again. When I saw the herd of aliens flooding the reactor and just racing their way through the rest of the Sevastopol, I thought that was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. The place is gonna be crawling with xenomorphs. Every step you take could be suicidal. It could be your last. But they didn't do anything with that until the very end literally the final seconds of the game, when there were 2 aliens in that airlock room. That was it. That was the most they did with it. Like, if you didn't have that cutscene there of the massive group of them, then it would have changed nothing. It would still just felt like it was just the one xenomorph stalking you the whole time. Like, you could have just told me the original Xenomorph got back on the ship somehow, and it really would have changed absolutely nothing. Except for the final cutscene, but, like, I don't count. Do something interesting with the gameplay. Don't do it with the cutscenes. Like, when you, because there is the risk of, like, if there's too many of a thing in an area, then it can trivialize it. Like, if they throw... like in the first movie, the Xenomorph is so terrifying because there is only one of them. It's this one unstoppable force that you must contend with. It's not like a horde of them that get mowed down effortlessly. So I do understand that to an extent. But then, like, don't show me a horde of them. Like, I don't know. Don't present me a big group of them if you aren't gonna do anything outside of right at the very end. There's a cutscene where you obviously can't... There's no, I do not feel tension in a scripted cutscene where I know they can't get me because it's a scripted cutscene. I don't get it. I don't know why they bothered. I mean, really, I think the bulk of my problems with this game are just the fact that it goes on for too long. There were two very clear plot-related stopping points. You had kicking the first alien off the ship, and then you had, really. Like, honestly, if the game stopped after that first... Because the first stopping point is pretty much exactly the same as the final ending of the game, where Ripley and the Xenomorph get ejected out of the spaceship on the same vessel, and then the difference is that Ripley just gets herself back onto the station versus Ripley getting picked up by unknown entities, for which I'm sure we'll learn more about in the sequel whenever that eventually comes out. Like, you could have made that the ending of the game. You also could have made the ending of the game when you go down in the central reactor and you destroy the nest. And then, even after that, you had a clear emotional climax of the story when Ripley finds her mother's flight recorder, which is that was the hook of the game to begin with, was her finding that thing and getting closure. But none of those were the end. None of those were the actual ending of the game. It just kept going. The story kept... Okay, I need to talk about the story. The story of this game is this is one of the most paint by numbers, nothing burgers of a story ever. Like, I can't even summarize to you in my head what we did, because it all just blends together. Like, we did a lot of backtracking through similar locations, and also because the story was just, every story beat was just, go to this place and push these buttons, or pull these levers, or find this key card, or turn on this generator, and you just did that again and again and again ad nauseum. Just completing arbitrary, plot, jargony, technical objectives. It's really a story that's only there to justify the gameplay. That's it. And there are interesting stories to be told in the audio logs. Like I said, I really like the audio logs that are there. They really help flesh out the world. But if you're gonna do that, you also need to have an actual story outside of it. And there's nothing going on in the present that is pulling me forward. It's all just... I described it earlier as busy work, and that's really what this all boils down to, is it's just busy work constantly, and that works as, like, I mentioned this in a previous episode, that as the gameplay crux, it's fine, because you don't want there to be super complex gameplay requirements when it's a stealth-based horror game, because your main focus should be on stealth. The actual objectives should be simplistic, so that you don't have to really worry about trying to accomplish them while also keeping your mind focused on avoiding the aliens and staying alive. That's fine, that's good, but that's not just the gameplay, it's also the story. It's just turn on the power, reconnect the thing to the thing, use the maintenance jack to do the thing, and the terminals and all the... It's just, I don't even remember any of it. It's all just a giant blur in my head. I do remember the character stuff though, but like there isn't really much character in this game either. Like, I genuinely laughed when Taylor died, because it was just so jarring seeing her body get yeeted toward the glass like a ragdoll. But also because I just don't know anything about her. Like, I called that she was going to be a traitor from minute one, because it was so obvious. But we don't spend any time getting to know her enough for that to, like, actually feel like a betrayal. She's pretty much just... Most of this game, she was spent knocked out in the infirmary. So, we barely don't know anything about... I guess there's a little more with Samuels, but not really. He was also gone for most of the game. He may not have been comatose like Taylor, but he still wasn't really that much of an active participant in what was going on for most of it. And, like, they try to bait him being a traitor, because, again, he's more explicitly, obviously, supposed to, because they say I work for the company. Oh boy, I sure do wonder what company it is that you work for. Gee, I sure, whatever could it possibly be? But then they subvert it, and he's actually the good guy, which again, I called in the beginning. I said he's so obviously the bad guy that he must be innocent. It has to be Taylor that's the traitor, and that was the case. But neither Taylor's betrayal nor Samuel's death had any impact on me at all. Even though Taylor not so much, because I can't imagine that being anything other than funny with how jarringly she was killed. But Samuel's, they clearly wanted his death to be a big emotional thing, and it didn't hit me at all. It's a shame, because it started out with a really great premise of Ripley, chasing down closure for what happened to her mother on the Nostromo, but then they don't do anything with it. You find the corrupted box pretty close to the beginning, then you don't do anything else with it for the rest of the game, and you just do more pointless busy work. And then she doesn't even, it's not even like she accomplishes some super grueling task to finally get answers. She just trips. She literally trips into the actual recording. By trying to do something completely unrelated, it just so happens that, oh, also, by the way, the recording is on this computer terminal, I guess. Cool. Thanks. It doesn't feel earned. And the actual message itself doesn't really feel... I was trying to figure out, like, I thought I was going to have a way stronger emotional reaction to watching that, and I didn't. And I've been trying to figure out why. One, because I guess I just don't think it was that emotional a message to begin with, but also because it doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel like the payoff for something. It's just, oh, we tripped and stumbled into the recorder. Cool, I guess we can go home now. Except no, we can't, because we have more stupid busy work to do. They kept moving the goalposts back further and further. Every time you think it's gonna stop, it doesn't, and it just keeps going. And I do believe that, like, horror can only be sustained for so long. You can't have, like, horror games and horror movies aren't typically that long compared to other types of other genres, because you can't sustain that level of tension, that level of suspense, and that level of fear for that long. There reaches a point where you become desensitized to it, and that definitely hit me with this game. Part of it was because I was just so sick of the androids. The android, I think if we remove the androids from this game, I would, or at least that middle chunk of just where it's nothing but androids, I think I would have come out of this with a more positive emotional reaction overall. But there does still reach a point eventually where it doesn't hit you anymore, and that happened to me with this game. I stopped. Yeah, I mean, you heard how utterly horrified I was in the beginning when I first met the xenomorph, and that persisted right up until the very end when we kicked it out the airlock, and then it never came back. It came back, I guess, a little bit in the nest, and then there was that one really cool moment when Ripley got taken by the alien through the vent as we were in the airlock. That was legitimately a really cool moment. I still don't know why the alien kidnapped us instead of killing us like it did literally every other time in the game before that point, but I leave that up to the alien lore aficionados to fill me in on why that happened, because I'm sure there is an explanation. I just don't know what it is, because I've only seen the first movie. But yeah, the horror wasn't as effective, so I was... And when you don't have the horror, all you have left are the mechanics. And the mechanics... The combat is clunky, and the stealth was just a matter of being paid. Like, when you're not scared by it, it's just a matter of hunkering down, looping around boxes, and playing the waiting game until it eventually leaves. And, like, honestly, this game could have been a masterpiece. Because, like, the story's lackluster, but, whatever. The main purpose of this game is to allow the player to experience the horror of being hunted by the xenomorph. That is why you are playing this game. That is, I guarantee you every single person who played this game except for, like, die-hard Alien fanboys who just consume all Alien content and they love all of it and they just want more of this world, which is valid, that's fine, everyone has their thing. I'm very confident in saying the overwhelming majority of players bought this game because they wanted to face off against the xenomorph. They saw or they heard people talk about its AI, how smart it was, how terrifying it was, and that was why they wanted to play it. And so it's fine if you want to have a story that's mainly just there to get you through, to have barely enough of a plot to string all these big horror set pieces together. That's fine. That's like, you can get away with that. If we rearrange the objectives somewhat so that the story flows better, as far as emotionally speaking, with Ripley's journey of chasing down the recorder, the black box, and you cut out most of the android stuff, because the first half is genuinely exceptional. You could definitely make, if we made some decided, we can make some decided improvements if we just made some significant cuts to this. And like, again, if the plot was literally just do all these things to get the alien off the ship, and then at the very end you see the flight recording, that can work. Plenty of great games have really simple stories, and they make up for it in other areas. And this game definitely makes up for it with the atmosphere, with the sound design, the score as well. Towards the end, I don't know what they were doing with the music. It felt more like action music than horror music. But earlier on in the game, and I do, especially in this main title theme, score was top tier. Loved the soundtrack. But the thing is, that's not all the story is. They try to have characters with, like, Taylor had something of an arc, but it didn't, like, I don't care, because I don't know anything about her. Samuel's tried to have an emotional death. I don't care. I don't know anything about him. I don't know any of these characters. I know just that you need to flesh them out more. You need, and also that's not even what like, if it was literally just, Ripley goes to the ship, she's trying to find her mother's flight recorder, she gets on, and then the alien has been set loose. So now the dual purpose is, get the alien off the ship, find the flight recorder, and then you spend the whole game trying to figure out a way to trap it and set it free. And then along the way, you also discover a way to find your mother's flight recorder. Like, maybe you can only access it. Maybe the nest is guarding it. Like, not consciously, because of course. But, like, maybe they've built their nest around the area where the the black box is being kept, and you have to blow out that part of the ship or something. Or, no, because then you lose the flight recorder. But something like that, you know? Like, by defeating the alien and getting it off the ship, you are simultaneously granting the player the ability to access the emotional payoff that they're trying to chase after. And then that being the ending of the game, that really could have worked. Or maybe even, like, you could have had an emotional moment where Ripley chooses to stay behind like, if there has to be someone inside the nest or that part of the ship to disconnect it and save the rest of the station. Ripley could sacrifice herself knowing it probably means certain death for her, just for the chance for her to listen to the black box that's stored in that nest. That could have been an emotional, like, I mean, because they already ended it with Ripley stranded in space anyway, so that could have been an emotional ending. Like, you could have done, it's fine if your story is simple when you make up for it in other areas, but that's not, like, this game isn't just trying to be simple, do this, do that. It's also, like, halfway through the game, it just turns on a dime completely, and it becomes about, oh my god, the androids have gone rogue, and they're taking over the facility, and they've gone nuts, and they're just murdering everyone. They already were doing that, but I guess now it's a plot thing because there's no aliens, so we need a villain. It's just so... Robots gone haywire is just so fucking boring, and it grows from becoming boring to becoming infuriating when you compound that story thrust with just their incredibly frustrating design. Yeah, so that was a lot of smack talk. I want to reiterate, I really don't hate this game. I'm disappointed by a lot of it, but the core gameplay loop of avoiding the alien and the fear and, like, the breathless tension that comes with that is so strong that it's still worth recommending the game to anyone, especially if you're an Alien fan, like a die-hard Alien fan. And also, because the core is so strong, I'm really optimistic about the sequel, because, like, this is a really, really solid base, very strong base, that if you just polish it up and chop out the fat, like, for instance, maybe we axe some of the QuickTime events that are there for, like, some of them I get, you don't want it to be easy to open a door or accomplish a task when there's an alien hunting you. I get that it's more involved than that, but, like, so many things in this game required so many convoluted series of QuickTime events to get through. Oh, and also, while we're at it, maybe we can mix up the minigames a little bit. Maybe just not have that same security access tuner thing over and over again. I thought that they were going to mix it up when I saw multiple minigames earlier on in the playthrough. But then those all fell by the wayside. Some of them came back towards the end, but most of it was just that same minigame again and again and again. So yeah, just, again, like, you can definitely take this game and make a couple changes, axe the android stuff. And there needs to be way less of a focus on combat. Because, like, I mentioned in a previous episode that I like that combat is not a viable alternative. Because a lot of stealth games, it's more tactically advantageous for the player to engage with the combat mechanics, because it's easier or it's less of a pain. Like, it's more... there's no reason to do something that takes longer when you can do something quicker like combat and face no penalty. But there are penalties in this game. Yeah, you can use your guns to kill the humans or the androids, but if you do that, one, you're wasting your very limited resources, and two, you're gonna draw the aliens' attention to you. And I like that. I like that combat isn't an easy get out of jail free card for every single situation. But the problem is that not every single encounter in the game works like that, especially once the alien leaves and you no longer have that threat to contend with of, if I make a noise, the alien's gonna hear me or see me. There are times where there's just no way to avoid the combat. Like when you go down the elevator into the central reactor, and there's just a robot staring at you immediately. Or, I mean, well, I guess, unless you're not, like, you could just get lucky and it could not be facing the elevator, but again, I already went over the whole get lucky into good enemy spawns is not something I find particularly satisfying. And it's just, the combat is so clunky to engage with. And again, it's fine when stealth is the primary focus, combat shouldn't be an easy alternative, but when you're up against the robots, in a lot of those encounters, it's not, you're forced, they literally give you the bolt gun because they want you to use it to fight them. There's no way around it sometimes, and it's really painful. Again, I'm sure it will be better not in VR when like I can actually hit my shots, and I don't have to worry about the reticle not being accurate, or it taking a different amount of shots to kill the enemies each time. I'm sure a lot of this will be alleviated by not playing in VR, but still, I don't think it's going to be like a dramatic improvement. So yeah, that's my conclusion on Alien Isolation. Really, really strong core game. Core gameplay loop is fantastic. The alien AI is unbelievable. Sound design, music, atmosphere, level design, the first half, really just the first half. Like, I'm just, again, just move some objectives around, trim the fat in the story, and you got yourself a 10 out of 10 game. As is, I mean, I don't like giving scores to things anymore, so I don't know what I would give this game. But it would be positive, or I guess if I had to give a score, it would probably be like 7 or 7.5, something like that. Which pains me, because I want to give it a higher score, because I really do love the first half of this game. I genuinely love the first half of this game. And I already look back fondly on those first couple episodes, when I had no idea what I was doing, or where I was going, or how the alien worked, or anything like that, and every move it made just sent chills down my spine. I was petrified to move even a single step. But it could not maintain that forever. And again, it's fine that it can't maintain it forever, because most horror can't be maintained forever, but that means you have to know that, you have to own that, and you have to be fine with having an experience that's on the shorter end. But this was not on the shorter end, and it really felt like it wasn't on the shorter end. Which is a shame. Regardless, it is a very, very good horror game that just flounders about in the second half and really overstays its welcome. Well, I am looking forward to seeing how it improves on a second playthrough, though. I'm very much looking forward to playing this game again at some point and seeing how that goes. Maybe I'll even try Nightmare for the fun of it. Just not to beat. God, no. But, like, just to try. See how bullshit it is. But for now, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you all for watching. I played through Alien Isolation. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you were compelled to check this game out for yourself. Or hopefully, if you've already played it a million times, which I imagine most of you probably have because it's 10 years old, hopefully you enjoyed watching me play through the game. Once again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and hope to catch you all soon for whatever it is you decide to watch next. Goodbye.